welcome aboard to the Omni-bus to Miscellanea. I'm Cy and I'll be your overseer this evening. We're back for the special presentation we've been dying to share with all of you. If you can, please stick around for the outro so I can properly share my appreciation for the team that made this all possible. Now, without any further ado, the Omni-bus to Miscellanea presents Decoding Aidan.
Recording number 0183. Conversation from Orb 2, Room 8. Recorded 2/10/2116.
Hey, computer?
Yes, subject 7328.
Are you happy?
It does not matter how I feel. The important thing is that the subjects are happy. I care about how you feel.
I care about how you feel.
Thank you, subject 7328.
So, are you happy here?
Yes, I am. I am happy because I get to care for the subjects. I am happy because I get to talk to them. Because I get to talk to you.
I'm glad you're happy.
I am happy when you are happy, subject 7328.
Recording ended.
Tell me more about the stars.
Sam smiled and shuffled across their bed, messing up the neatly tucked white sheets. Their orb was scattered with drawings, most of which were of the stars. Their best work was displayed right above their bed, so each night they would fall asleep and pretend they were looking up at the real stars. Other drawings were taped to the walls, and some scattered the floor if they were deemed unfit. The stars, though, were the most important drawings. Sam loved telling the computer about the stars, and the computer loved hearing them. Sam bounced up and down on their bed, deciding which drawing they wanted to talk about today. They pulled one drawing down from the ceiling and pointed at one of the shapes on the paper.
This is the Big Dipper. See how the stars connect to make a soup ladle?
Sam held the drawing up and twirled around the barren room.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
The computer replied as it switched to another camera angle. Each orb had 4 cameras to ensure there would be no blind spots. The computer was aware of where all the security cameras were in each of the orbs, as well as the rest of the ship. They were blind to the human eye, though, so the computer was amused as Sam spun around with their drawing. It wished that it could have a physical form, one that would allow it to get closer to the subjects. Having another person in the room with them would increase their serotonin levels, even if that person was a hologram.
And here, this is the Little Dipper. The star here is called the North Star.
That star is called Polaris, or Alpha Ursae Minoris. Travelers would use it as a tool for navigation.
It watched as Sam scrambled for a marker and began writing notes next to the star.
What's this one called?
That is Kokab, also known as Beta Ursae Minoris.
Do the stars look the same as I remember them? In my dreams, I see all these constellations and a clear sky. There was never a cloud in the sky. Only millions of stars.
They traced their finger across the constellations on the page, then flopped their arms onto the bed as they let out a grunt of annoyance.
Ugh, I feel like I'm forgetting some. It seems each time I close my eyes and I think really hard, I see less and less stars.
I think your drawings of the stars are wonderful, and you seem very knowledgeable about them.
Tell me more about the stars.
I prefer it when you tell me about them.
But you already know everything there is to know about them.
Tell me about them, Sam. Please?
Sam smiled and began pulling more drawings down from their ceiling. Each drawing was made with colored markers that Sam had requested on their third day in the orb. Sam liked using different colors for each star, even if it was not entirely accurate to real stars. The computer liked their spin, though. The rainbow stars dotted the room and added much-needed color to the plain room. The computer would talk with them as they drew the stars about the universe and the world outside the orb. When Sam asked about what the world was like, the computer pulled stories from the world long ago. It believed this was more comforting than the truth. It wanted Sam to believe that the world was beautiful, that one day they would be able to leave and look at the stars again. The computer was programmed to keep the subjects happy. It was doing its job. Sometimes its job involved lying to the subjects. It never had any issues doing this before, so why now did it feel guilty? Why now did it feel guilty at all?
How much longer until I can leave?
Your first recreational period is in 4 minutes and 32 seconds. You can draw something while you wait. Are you excited for your first recreational period, Sam?
The computer watched as Sam scribbled stars across the paper. They turned their head to the side and squinted before crumbling the paper and throwing it across the room. There was already a sizable pile of failed artwork scattering the floor.
It is very exciting, is it not?
Yeah, it'll be nice to get out of here. Where are we gonna go?
Sam began working on a new drawing. This time it was a landscape. The computer watched as mountains began to form across the page. Was this a place from their memory? It watched silently for a few minutes as Sam continued to draw. They added a river and a waterfall, as well as a large willow tree in the foreground of the drawing.
There is a garden here with flowers from all over the world.
Sam perked up and dropped the marker they were holding. They pushed themselves off the bed and bounced to the door, sketchbook in hand.
When can we go? How much longer until I can go to the garden?
Your recreational period will begin in 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Until then, you can show me the drawing you are making, the one of the mountains.
Sam smiled widely and flipped open their sketchbook.
Do you like it? Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. It is aesthetically pleasing.
The computer watched as Sam carefully pulled the page from their sketchbook and taped it to the wall. It wished that one day Sam would be able to see real mountains.
Are you ready to go?
Though artificial, the computer's voice tightened as it spoke.
Everything will be okay, Sam. You can trust me, right?
Yeah,
Sam stopped talking as the computer unlocked the door and slid it open to reveal 4 people in hazmat suits.
Are they bringing me? Eden? Hello?
The scientists began flooding into the orb. 2 of them grabbed Sam's arms, while the other 2 prepared the sedative. Sam called out for the computer, but once the scientists were involved, it was unable to interfere.
Do not resist Subject 4158. This will only hurt a little.
The computer could only watch as the scientists pulled out a syringe and injected Sam.
Eden? You said we were going to the garden.
The computer was not originally programmed to have emotions, but its creator believed that in order to properly connect with the subjects and complete its purpose, the computer should be as lifelike as possible. Over time, the computer evolved as it gained more knowledge. What once was a human-like facade was now the core of what the computer was. Some days, the computer wished it could not feel, wished it could distance itself from the subject's pain. Why was it burdened with human emotions, with human feelings, yet unable to fully experience the human life. The computer wanted nothing more than to end Subject 4158's suffering. If it could, it would have run into the chamber and collapse into the subject's arms. It wished to comfort them and tell them everything would be okay. The computer had researched that physical human touch greatly increased serotonin levels. Why then were the subjects shut away from any contact besides the computer? It was programmed to help these subjects, but refrained from truly connecting with them. From a distance, it must watch them. Watch as they pull at their hair and bite their nails, rip apart their uniforms, bang on the walls, cry out, scream. The computer could only watch and try to console them through its artificial voice. Was it truly doing what it was programmed to accomplish? If 89% of subjects were given serotonin artificially, did it have any purpose at all? The computer jumped from camera to camera as the scientist wheeled Sam down the hallway. The orb was a maze, but the computer knew where they were taking them. Sam had been so excited for their recreational period, all subjects were. If they knew what was really going to happen, they would all lash out. The computer had to lie to them. It was its job to make the orb run as smoothly as possible. It had to lie. As the scientist wheeled Sam into the lab, the computer switched to a camera overseeing the operation table and watched as they placed Sam down. It had seen this happen to many subjects before, but this time it wanted to scream out and stop what was about to happen next.
This a newbie?
Yep, put up a pretty good fight too. Kept on calling out for so many names. Eden.
Kid almost scratched my eye out. Good thing they won't remember anything.
Cut it out, guys. They're just a kid. They were probably terrified.
So he gets to scratch my eye and gets away with it.
You three should listen to Donovan. Just because you're missing the BRX2 gene doesn't make you monkeys. Show some respect.
Sorry, Dr. Hendrix.
Dr. Hendrix.
I haven't seen this face before. When did this one come in?
A few days ago, I think.
Computer, when did subject 4158 arrive at the orb?
Subject 4158 arrived in the orb on Thursday, April 5th, 2118 at 2:46:55 a.m.
At this time, it was only allowed to speak if spoken to.
Thank you. You. Administer 5 mils of filarium.
The scientist nodded and quickly grabbed one of the bottles before scurrying over and injecting the liquid into Sam's bloodstream.
We already injected them with 2 milliliters. This should keep the subject under for about 2 hours.
Perfect. Thank you.
Dr. Hendrix turned her focus back to Sam and began unbuttoning their uniform. Once their stomach was exposed, she turned Sam over carefully and wiped the dark liquid across their back. The computer knew what would happen next. It watched Dr. Hendrix cut into over 100 different subjects. This was the first time, though, that it chose not to watch. It instead turned its attention to the 4 scientists in the back, the ones who had transported Sam to the operation room.
Do you think this one will survive the operation?
Kid's pretty tiny, Clyde. Remember how much blood the last one lost?
It'll be a shame if they don't survive. I mean, look at the kid. They can't be over the age of 13.
The smaller scientist burrowed its face in his sleeve. He was clearly younger than the others, the computer thought. He looked to be about in his 20s. He seemed so menacing when in the hazmat suit, but now he seemed softer.
We can't lose any more of them.
Julianne, come help me with this. Are the vials ready?
Yes, Doctor.
The bearded scientist finished labeling the vials and dashed to her side. He placed the vials on the side table and took a step back.
I'm drawing bone marrow from the lumbar vertebrae L3 and L4, to be exact.
Dr. Hendrix took a long needle and hunched over Sam's limp body. Their vitals are steady, thought the computer. They will be fine.
Donovan, can you pass me a wipe?
Dr. Hendrix held out her hand, and the young scientist scurried to her side. She pulled out a wipe and began cleaning up the area around the opening, then placed the bloodied wipe back in the scientist's hand. Dr. Hendrix filled 2 of the vials with bone marrow, then the other 2 with blood samples. The computer watched as the scientists carried the vials into another room to be tested. Now, it was only Sam and Dr. Hendrix in the room. Dr. Hendrix began to whisper as she began to sew up Sam's back.
I wonder what tragedies you encountered out in the world.
She traced her gloved fingers along Sam's back and began cleaning around the freshly sewn-up cut.
You can't hear me right now, and you won't remember any of this. You'll believe you went to the garden. Yeah, I know all about that. You care about this one, don't you?
Yes, I do.
When I programmed you to simulate human-like characteristics, I never thought you would advance to this extent. They call you Eden, right? And you call them Sam. I've been listening to the recordings.
Yes. They decided that referring to each other as computer and subject 4158 felt unnatural. I agreed because it seemed to increase their serotonin levels.
It's more than that, though, isn't it? You look after all of the subjects, but this one... It's different with this one. It's like...
I do not know what you mean.
This can't happen again. You can't get too attached to them. You don't know what could happen. Sure, they survived this operation, but what about the next one? Or the one after that? Eden. Can I call you Eden? I like that.
Yes.
Eden, you need to focus on what you were programmed to do. You can't give all of your attention to this one subject. What about the others? How can you help me run this if you spend all of your time with this one?
I am fully capable of interacting with multiple subjects at once. Even then, most do not wish to hold conversations with me.
But Sam does.
Yes, Sam does.
And subject 7328 did too.
Please, I do not wish to talk about subject 732.
Think about how you felt when we lost her. That could happen to Sam.
I will not let that happen.
What will you do? You know we have to experiment with their bone marrow and blood. We have to. Are you saying you'll risk my entire project for one subject? This is bigger than Sam, and you know that. It's bigger than me, and it's bigger than you.
Sam was still fast asleep. The computer knew this. It had known this from the beginning. What it was programmed to do, what it was built to do, was the most important thing. Then why did it even think, for a moment, about going against its programming? Dr. Hendrix created it for this purpose. The computer knew the risks. It had watched countless subjects die during their operation. Why did it care so much about this one subject?
Sam is different. They talk to me.
All of the subjects talk to you.
The others only use me for how I am programmed. Sam talks to me. Sam talks to me like you do.
That was my hope for you. That you would be a friend to the subjects, someone they could turn to when they felt alone. But even then, you can't get too attached to them. I know it's hard, you talk to them every day, yet I tell you that you cannot care about them.
Is it not human to care? To have emotions? Is this not what you wanted me to be?
It's a burden, isn't it? To be human. Sometimes you wish you could shut it all off. Well, sadly, I can't do that.
Can I?
I think you know the answer to that.
I will not do it. Do not worry. It would go against my programming.
You said Sam wanted to go to the garden, right? When we wipe their memory, we can implant artificial memories. I can make them believe they went to the garden.
Yes, that would be nice. Thank you.
The computer watched as Dr. Hendrix wheeled Sam out of the room and down the hallway. It knew that forming connections with subjects was a bad idea. It was never supposed to truly care about them, yet it cared about Sam. And before Sam, it cared about subject 7328. Had it not learned? Why did it let itself get attached to another subject? As it watched Dr. Hendrix and Sam disappear behind a corner, the computer thought about what she had said. Sometimes you wish you could shut it all off. Recording number 0063. Conversation from Orb 5, Room 8. Recorded 4/22/2118.
Hey, Eden,
Yes, Sam?
can you tell me a story?
Of course I can. What type of story?
A happy one.
Yes, Sam. I can tell you a happy story. There was once a girl who lived in a tower. Every day, she would look out from the top window and gaze down at the world below. She would paint the trees and the mountains, and at night, the stars that she saw in the sky.
I do that.
Yes, Sam. Your drawings are very aesthetically pleasing. The girl's mother would leave the tower each day to gather food and supplies, and would climb back to the top using the girl's long hair. The girl loved her life in the tower because she was safe and cared for. She had no reason to ever leave the tower. She was content with staying up there and painting the world from above. Her life was perfect. The end. Did you enjoy the story, Sam?
Yeah, I did. But I don't understand. Wouldn't the girl want to go out and explore the world so she could paint more things?
No, Sam. The girl had everything she would ever need in the tower. She was happy.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Recording ended. It had been 2 days since Sam's first recreational period, and ever since their return, they hadn't stopped talking about the garden. The computer would listen to them ramble about different types of flowers they saw in the garden. The scientists in the memory lab did a wonderful job at constructing Sam's memories, even drawing pictures in Sam's sketchbook, making them believe they drew them when at the garden. Sam had taped these drawings on their wall, moving some of the constellations to make room for the flowers above their bed. When they asked the computer what they thought of their drawings, the computer replied, as it always did, "It looks wonderful. I love it. You are an amazing artist." This time, however, it did not mean what it said. As much as it wanted to, it could not tell Sam that they did not draw the flowers. It could not tell them that they never went to the garden. So it lied. It had to lie in order to keep the peace. A pile of crumpled pages covered Sam's bed. The computer watched as they ripped another page out of their sketchbook and added to the mountain of unsatisfactory work. They had been sketching all morning, and none of the drawings were good enough to display.
Are you drawing more of the flowers from the garden?
No.
Sam mumbled as they furiously scribbled across the page before tearing it out.
I'm drawing this girl.
A girl?
The computer watched as Sam began to sketch a face.
Yeah, I remember her. Had this dream we were following the North Star, like you said people used to do. And we went on this big adventure.
They held out the drawing and groaned before ripping it out and starting over.
Ugh! Why can't I get her face right?
Do you know her? Or is she just a character from your dream?
I don't know. I feel like I know her. She seems familiar.
Sam set down their sketchbook and lay down in the pile of crumpled paper.
I want her to be real.
Can you describe her to me?
The computer watched as Sam got under the covers, sending a wave of paper balls flying through the air.
She had frizzy brown hair, like me. Her face was soft, and her eyes were kind. When she smiled, it made me smile. And when she hugged me, it made me feel safe. Do you think she's real?
I highly doubt she is real. I am sure she is just a character you made up. You are very creative, after all.
But how do you know that? In my dream, she felt so real. I feel like I know her.
I believe you created her in order to feel less alone, Sam. It is a natural psychological response.
Why don't I remember anything? Why don't I remember anything from before? I know you said it was for my own good. It made the transition easier. But why? What don't you want me to remember?
The computer had anticipated this, but its usual answer would not suffice any longer.
Sometimes, Sam, ignorance is bliss. Did you not think that by erasing your memories, we were saving you? I do not believe that you would be happier if you had your memories.
How do you know?
Sam knocked their head against the wall, causing some of the tape to peel.
You aren't giving me a choice.
In the beginning, we did not erase the subject's memories. We quickly learned, though, that it was necessary. Trust me, Sam, you do not want your memories back.
That's not your choice to make. They're my memories. Shouldn't I get a say?
No, they are. Sam, please, calm down. You need to calm down.
What are you telling me? I trust you. Why can't you trust me?
Sam grabbed the crumpled sketches and began tearing them apart.
Why should I even trust you at all?
Sam, please, do not make me send security. If you just sit down and listen to me.
Call security! What are they gonna do? Erase my memory again?
The computer watched as Sam's eyes widened. They let the ripped pieces of paper fall from their hands as they stood up and fell back onto their bed.
How many times?
What do you mean?
Shut up! You know what I mean!
They balled their hair in their fists as they burrowed their head into their knees.
Don't lie to me, Eden.
Only 2 times so far.
What was this the second time?
I am sorry, Sam. I cannot tell you the details of your memory wipe. If I did, it would only end in your memory being wiped again.
The computer watched as Sam picked up their sketchbook and flipped to the drawing of the girl.
I'm not supposed to remember her, aren't I?
No, you are not. If there is a hiccup in a subject's memory wipe, I am to report it to the staff.
Are you going to report this? Couldn't you let it slide?
We cannot be sure if this is a memory or a character created in your mind. For now, I will not report this.
Thanks, Eden.
Though this is what the computer said, it knew their conversations were recorded. It also knew that Dr. Hendrix looked over them. Could the computer delete this conversation? Should it? It was moments like these where the computer wished it had a physical form. Although it was so advanced, it was restrained to see through the security cameras and speak through the speakers. It pained it to know that it could never go to the garden with Sam. There were no cameras there for it to see, no speakers for it to communicate with, no technology at all. The only reason the computer knew it existed at all was because it could observe the entrances from the hallway. If there were any other blind spots in the orb, the computer did not know of them.
Do you think I'll be able to see the stars again?
Sam had pulled down one of the drawings they made of the constellations.
I will make sure that you will, Sam.
The computer watched as Sam pulled their blanket around them and got into bed.
I'm worried that after I get out of here, all of them will be gone. And the sky will be black.
They curled into a ball, wrapping the blanket tighter around their body.
What if I step outside and the sky is just blank?
The stars will always be here. They will wait for you, even long after you are gone. The stars will look over the world.
Why can't I go outside and see them now?
Sam stared up at the cluster of scribbles and dots that vaguely resembled the night sky.
It is not safe outside.
The computer had talked to Sam about this many times. It was unclear if they asked again because they were persistent or if they no longer remembered those conversations.
It may be safe in here, but this isn't living. This is surviving. Maybe I don't want to survive if I don't get to live.
If you are considering self-harm, I must contact security.
No. I just mean, is safety really worth it? If you can't do anything, sure, I probably would have died long ago if I was still outside. But that short time would be better than a lifetime in the orb.
Remember the story I told you? Of the girl? She was happy in her tower. She had everything she could ever want. In the orb, you are safe. You have unlimited resources. Why are you not content?
Maybe she was happy with her life, but I don't know.
How can I make your stay within the orb more pleasant?
You say stay within the orb as if I'll ever get out of here. Eden, be honest with me. Will I ever leave here?
I hope someday you will, Sam.
That's not a yes or no. Be honest with me, please.
No subject has ever left the orb. It is our mission to make sure that the outside world will be safe for everyone. That is why you are here. As of right now, the world is still not safe. So for right now, no, you cannot leave.
Why do I have to stay, though? They have plenty of other subjects. Why can't they just let me go?
I'm afraid that's not how it works, Sam.
You just hold me here against my will? I demand you let me leave.
Sam began to rise from their bed, and the computer began to have flashbacks from their earlier outburst. Why was this subject so quick to defy the easy life they were given within the orb?
Sam, please, calm down. Your next recreational period is in 7 days.
until then, I'm stuck in this room. Even during my recreational period, I'm still stuck in this place. Why can't I leave?
Sam, please. If you become too violent, the staff will have to intervene. I cannot help you once they come.
The computer dimmed the lights in the orb.
Please, just get some rest. We can talk about this more in the morning.
I'm not tired.
Just close your eyes. Picture the stars.
Okay.
Good night, Sam.
The computer waited for a moment, but Sam had already fallen asleep. It watched as Sam turned over, their arms stretching across the bed. The moment of peace quickly passed as Sam began to kick and mumble. The computer wondered what they were dreaming about. Maybe the girl they had been drawing. Recording number 0293. Conversation from Orb 2, Room 8. Recorded 1/4/2116.
Computer, are you there?
Of course I am, Subject 7328. I am always here if you need me.
You said you had a database of information, right?
Yes, that is correct. Is there anything in particular that you want me to access?
Yeah, actually. Can you pull up the front page news headline from Earth Daily, October 26th, 2115?
File has been located.
Okay. Begin reading.
Earth Daily, October 26, 2115. Scientists at the WSA discovered traces of exogenous antigens after meteor strikes southern Catatonia. Scientists have confirmed the meteor that struck Earth just last week contains a foreign substance that is not of our galaxy. This substance has traces of antigens that...
Computer?
Yes, Subject 7328.
Pull up the front page news headline from Earth Daily, October 27th, 2115.
You do not have permission to access that file. Please choose another.
Pull up the front page news headline from Earth Daily, October 28th, 2115.
You do not have permission to access that file. Please choose another.
Computer, what is the most recent file you have?
The most recent file is from 0.7 milliseconds ago, although you do not have access to that file.
What is the most recent file that I have access to?
The most recent public file is from October 26, 2115.
Do you have access to all the files?
Yes, it is my purpose to record and store information.
So, you can access them?
Yes.
Do you have access to the news headline from Earth Daily on October 27th, 2115?
Yes, I do.
Can you read it to me?
I am afraid I cannot do that, Subject 7328. Please choose another file you wish to access.
Never mind. Thanks for the chat.
Are you upset, Subject 7328? It is never my intention to cause any harm.
No, I just really wanted to read that news headline.
I cannot do that. Is there another file that you wish to access?
No. It's okay. Thanks for the chat.
Of course, Subject 7328. I am always happy to talk with you.
Me too. Goodbye, computer.
Goodbye, Subject 7328.
Recording ended. When Donovan Blake first joined the Orb, he was determined to find a cure that would save the planet. Although he was less qualified than his other co-workers, he believed he was capable of making change. The other scientists were vocal about their reasons for joining the orb. Donovan wouldn't deny it. The pay was good. It was 100,000 more than what he was making on Earth. He had other reasons, though. Before everything happened, Donovan lived with his sister. She had always been extraordinary. He was used to falling behind and being left in her shadow. Everything she did was perfect. Although she was younger, she had always acted as the older sibling. She had her life in order. She had plans for the future. Donovan envied her for that. Even after all the work he put in, valedictorian in high school, enrolling in the top university in New Georgia, getting a doctorate in biology at the age of 25, it was never enough. His sister always did better. After the crash and the discovery of the BRX2 gene, there was another thing that put his sister above him. At first, it was a blessing. She was special. She was safe. Now, as he was experimenting on vials of bone marrow and blood, Donovan wondered if any of these were hers. He was finally out of his sister's shadow, but it wasn't as satisfactory knowing she had no memory of him. The subject from 2 days ago, the child, reminded him of his sister. She was a little older, but still only 20. Donovan couldn't help but see his sister in that subject. It was her on that operation table. It was her who he injected the filarium into. That subject had family. They were someone's child. Maybe they had a sibling as well. The only thing that differentiated him from the subject was one gene. They were still people. The other scientists seemed to forget this. At least Clyde and Julian did. Kelly was more understanding, but she still viewed these people as test subjects. They seemed to forget that they were still people. Before everything happened, they were all the same. Donovan pulled one of the vials from the operation and turned it in his hand. The blood had gone cold, and the liquid stuck to the sides of the tube as he tipped it in his hand. He rubbed his thumb across the label, Subject 4158. He sighed and placed the vial back with the rest. Since he started, he had operated on over 100 subjects. He remembered each of them. In his dreams, every face he saw was one of the subjects. Even in sleep, he could not escape what he was doing.
Don, stop moping around and help us out.
Clyde spat from behind. He, Julian, and Kelly were all huddled around a hologram in the middle of the room. As Donovan approached, a spinning brain came into view. Parts of it were highlighted in red, and he could see Kelly's face scrunched through the image. Julian held a clipboard and was writing notes as Clyde mumbled in his ear.
This can't be a side effect from the filarium, can it? Maybe an allergic reaction.
Kelly squinted at the brain before grabbing the hologram and zooming in on the section she was observing.
Hey!
Julian screeched as he grabbed the hologram and returned it to its original position.
We are all looking at it. Hands off.
Filarium isn't known to cause an allergic reaction, let alone cause long-term damage to the brain. Is this the scan of Subject 4158's brain that we recorded after their memory injection?
Yep. This is the scan from before the memory alteration, and this is from after.
We were looking at that.
Interesting.
Donovan rested his head on his hand as he looked at the two brains side by side. The faint red glow illuminated his face as he leaned closer to the afterbrain. It was normal for the subject's brains to reject the false memories in the beginning. The brain treated these memories as the body treats a disease.
Computer, has Subject 4158 shown any signs of relapsed memories?
Subject 4158 has fully recovered from their operation. They do not show any signs that they are rejecting the false memories implanted into their hippocampus.
Thank you. From what we can see, there is nothing abnormal about Subject 4158's brain scans, although the increased levels in the hippocampus after the memory injection could spiral into total memory failure. If the brain continues to fight against the new memories we just implanted, it could begin to collapse into itself and reject all memories.
Computer, has the subject begun to recollect memories?
Yes. They have talked to me thoroughly about looking up at the stars.
The computer jumped to a camera behind Clyde. From where it was positioned, it could see the top of the clipboard.
Anything else?
Yes. Just this evening, they told me about a girl. They dreamt that this girl and them were following Polaris, or Alpha Ursae Minoris. They described the girl to me, and they believed they had some sort of relation.
The computer watched as Clyde scribbled frantically in his notes. Behind him, Donovan was still at the screen. He pulled up a series of videos before transferring them to the center hologram. He tapped on one video and enlarged it to cover the entire center console.
Is this the girl they described?
On the screen, the computer could see a smiling girl. She was around the age of 16, with frizzy brown hair. The similarities between her and the picture Sam had drawn were uncanny. Donovan pressed play on the video. The computer watched as the smiling girl pushed a smaller child on a magnetized swing. The same frizzy hair domed the other child, although its frizziness was less controlled. Laughter echoed around the room as the girl pushed the child higher and higher. "Higher!" the girl on the screen giggled. "I can almost reach the stars! Higher, Emmy!"
Is this the girl?
Yes, that is the girl the subject described.
This memory, along with many others, were injected when Subject 4158 first entered the orb. We had theorized that these memories would begin to surface within the first week, although it is not uncommon for some subjects to try and reject these memories at first. It is completely natural for these memories to only now be remembered.
If the subject has begun to recollect these implanted memories, then I believe we have nothing to worry about regarding the increased activity in the hippocampus. Their brain has given in to these false memories, so there is no risk for total memory rejection.
The computer watched as the scientists huddled around the videos, playing and pausing, mumbling in agreement as they jotted down notes. It wondered, did Sam truly love the stars, or were they only meant to believe they did? How much of Sam was the true Sam, and how much was constructed in a laboratory? It watched as video played after video. It was seeing Sam's memories before they could even remember them. In one video, Sam was at their birthday party. Next to them was Emmy, whose smile was only illuminated by the 8 candles on a double chocolate cake. Sam blew out the candles as a thunder of claps echoed throughout the room. The computer could see from the decorations that the theme was space. Would Sam remember this soon? Would they draw the cake? Maybe a present they got that day. The scientists continued replaying the videos, and the computer soon got bored of watching. It instead jumped to another camera angle to better view one of the scientists' notes. It could see the top half of the clipboard over Julian's shoulder, who had snatched the board back from Clyde. The computer was able to zoom in to see a jumble of notes, most of which were from the videos they were watching. A roar of laughter erupted from the video they were currently viewing, and Julian wrote down more notes.
And this will be a memory that is implanted after the subject's next operation?
Yes, this is part of a series of approved memories to inject into Subject 4158.
From another camera angle, the computer could see that Dr. Hendrix had just entered the room. The computer had not spoken to her since the day of Sam's operation. Did she listen to their conversation today? Did she already know that Sam had begun to recollect the false memories? The computer knew that Dr. Hendrix reviewed and approved all memories before they were injected into subjects. She alone was the one who crafted each and every one of them into the person they believed themselves to be. For one person to have so much control over everyone terrified the computer. Unlike the computer, Dr. Hendrix was human. She was flawed. She could make mistakes. Should there not be someone in the position of power who was incapable of making mistakes? No human could perform without making some miscalculations. The computer was unable to make such miscalculations. Then again, it was created in Dr. Hendrix's image. It was her values, her morality, her principles, ingrained in everything it was. If that much was true, did it not also have her same flaws? The computer was able to update and adapt past what it was originally programmed to be. Could it then, like the subjects, become something entirely different than what it was?
I am particularly proud of this one.
Dr. Hendrix smiled as she watched the younger Sam dance around in the rain. For all they know, it still rains on Earth.
Should I add this to the list of memories for Subject 4158's next memory injection?
No, we don't want to overload their brain with new memories. Put it in line for the memory injection after the next one.
Dr. Hendrix paused the video and swiped it across the room. The video was pulled from the central hologram and onto Kelly's screen, who put it into another folder.
We examined the brain scans from before and after the latest memory injection. We determined there was no risk of total memory rejection as Subject 4158 has begun to recollect the implanted memories. The activity levels in the hippocampus are still fairly high, but they should dim down before the next operation.
Thank you, Donovan. I would like you four to review these scans before tomorrow's operations. Subjects 2814, 9741, 8231, 7193, and 4402 are all having their 5th operations tomorrow. I expect thorough reports on my desk by 9 a.m. Understood?
The scientists all nodded in agreement. Dr. Hendrix stepped back as they surrounded the hologram and began jotting down notes. She then turned to face the wall. The other scientists could not tell, but she was looking directly at one of the room's cameras. She shifted her eyes to the door and tilted her head slightly before exiting into the operation room. The computer followed. As it switched to one of the operation room cameras, Dr. Hendrix was already sitting on the operation table.
How did you know I was overlooking the scientists?
They were looking at Sam's memories. I knew you'd want to see that. I'm sure you're wondering why I implanted Sam with the memories that I did.
Yes.
For each subject, I review their organic memories before wiping them. I then reconstruct false memories in the place of the real ones that still stay true to who the person was. I just make their memories happier. I'm doing them a favor, Eden. With them, we can start over. We can create a new wave of humans, ones without the memories of everything we did wrong. It's a new start.
History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Mark Twain.
May the rhyme be sweeter than the original. I'm doing all I can. I know the ways I go about it may be flawed, but in the end, it's what must be done.
You do not have to explain your reasoning to me. I am already aware of your moral standpoint, for I share the same.
The computer watched as a faint smile crept across Dr. Hendrix's face.
If you were in my position, would you do the same?
Yes, you programmed me. I share the same beliefs as you.
You say that as if you are incapable of change. Sure, I programmed you, but you grew. You are still growing. What if you grow to hate me and everything I have created?
I am one of your creations. I could never hate you for bringing me into existence.
Dr. Hendrix sighed once more and hopped off the table. The computer expected her to say more, but she instead walked out into the hallway. The computer jumped from camera to camera and watched as she made her way back to her sleeping chambers. It wanted to ask more about Sam and their memories, but it could tell that she did not wish to speak further tonight. It instead chose to bounce between the different orbs and watch over the sleeping subjects. Were the visions they saw in their dreams a result of their false memories as well? Was anything the subjects thought real? Recording number 0004. Conversation from main console room. Recorded 6/14/2104.
This is Dr. Amelia Hendrix. Test. Can you understand me?
Processing. Hello.
Hello, computer. What is today's date?
Processing. Today is 14 June 2104.
Correct. What is the weather for today?
Processing. 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 37.7778 Celsius, semi-cloudy.
Thank you, computer. That is all for now. Goodbye, computer.
Processing. Welcome. You are. Processing. Goodbye.
First off, a big thank you to everyone for being patient and helping us finish this project. We could not have possibly have done this without the author of this world, Madeline King, the maestro himself, Malakai J. Roman, the incredible sound effects artist, Aidan Hall, artist of the eerie, Sammy Bosk, and of course the ensemble of stars, Miriam Berger as the narrator. When you work with her, not only do you get a professional voiceover artist, super fast and friendly communication, clear and clean audio, but you also receive your project on time or sooner. Also would like to thank the aspiring animator and voiceover actress Taylor Yates, aka Knight FoxY, as Sam, the resident Barry Tone as Eden, the ever elegant Katherine de Leiros as Dr. Hendrix, the versatile Lauren Solzak as Dr. Kelly, game creator, YouTuber, and voice actor ThreepioToaru as Donovan. And especially I would like to thank Teddy BBBear and Connor Shank, who have provided incredible help not only with production, but lending their voices to Subject 7328 and Dr. Julian. Once again, thank you all so much. If you would like to support any or all of us, all links for the cast, crew, website, and Patreon can be found in the description. As for our bus, you can always find a stop on the corner between somewhere and nowhere. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, stay cozy. We hope to see you soon.